So here we go. It's Mawkzy versus Dralii in the continuation of the road to Nwpo versus Mawkzy. It's $1,000 set of matches we got going on here. It's actually going to be a little bit more because every time somebody beats them, they're going to get additional prize as well. I highly recommend going back and checking out all the matches we've had so far. I have big ping. 1-0. Okay. Now we're ready to start. It's Dralii versus Mawkzy. I was just going to have him play 6 extra seconds or whatever and just give Dralii an additional goal. I don't know how this is all going to get cut up here at the start as Mawkzy's going to put on his first goal. And they're the same exact ping. And they both have 40 ping still. Whatever. He likes this one better, or he's just decided that it's no problem. We are into Mawkzy versus Dralii in this road to Nwpo versus Mawkzy. If you guys don't know, we've been having Nwpo and Mawkzy play against the same opponents here, and they are competing to have the better record against them in order to get $1,000 as a way to practice for their matchup that's going to happen on LAN in France in September. So far, we have them play against Raziers and Dralii. I highly recommend checking out the matches that have happened before this if you're watching on YouTube. And I think the reality is you're just going to have to get them slightly spoiled because I think it's too relevant to, how these games go as time goes on. So I'm not going to, completely not spoil them. So that was your chance to go back and check the other ones out. Let's talk about what's happened so far, which is that Mawkzy against Raziers was able to get a win. And Nwpo was actually reverse swept in what could be a deciding game as we get deeper into this tournament. A little bit of internet issues from Nwpo. We've hopefully been able to resolve them. And he's played against Dralii here today. And was not able to get a win against Dralii either. But I tell you what, I think even on LAN, Dralii could compete against both Mawkzy and Nwpo. One of the only guys I would expect to get wins against both of them. And right now, there's a lot of pressure on Mawkzy to get that win. If he could get a win and start out 2 series ahead of Nwpo here in these 10, it could be really tough to bring back. I think anything can happen. I think Mawkzy specifically is not the kind of guy to, win these kind of matches to that level of consistency. Nwpo was on a guy who was on an insane streak. His only loss, before the past couple days had been to just Mawkzy many, many moons ago. So he is the kind of guy normally to stay on those streaks. Mawkzy usually has a hiccup here or there and then clutches up come tournament time. So we'll see. Maybe this is considered a tournament in his brain and he'll end up performing to his best level. For now, he has to try and get through Dralii. Mawkzy had took a bit of a break before finding out that his opponent was going to be Nwpo in France. He is, someone who I almost said kind of guy again. Yes, he's someone who grinds like crazy and streams to the utmost extent to the point where you don't understand how he could possibly do it. And turns out he is human and has had needed a little bit of break, but I believe he's back now. The streams have returned here and there. The show matches are ready to go. He has decided it's grind time to try and get that win in the World Championship. And Dralii is going to equalize here in game number 1. If you're the kind of guy to go snorkeling with a comically large straw, I don't think so. I'm going to disagree. Mawkzy trying to do something special here with 0 boost with these dashes. But ultimately, Dralii able to chip it far away from the wall. He read that Mawkzy was glued to that wall on 0 boost. Did his best to have the ball separate as quickly as possible. Mawkzy hoping to convert here on this kickoff. Dralii on the inside of the net. Mawkzy waited it out and made sure that Dralii had to transition off before shooting. If he goes quickly, he plays right into Dralii's hands. He's able to run out of this net and make a big save. Instead, forced him to jump off and then took advantage. Mawkzy kickoff win. He loves his ceiling resets and then tries to launch the ball down in order to get it past Dralii. That's probably one of the big disadvantages of going for ceiling resets as exclusively isn't exactly the way to describe it, but definitely heavily prefers the ceiling reset. That does mean without the right setup on the ball, you're going to probably be floating above the play and have to just force it down. Whereas if you can get a reset on the underside of that ball, then you're in just the right position to take it higher, fake, do whatever you need to do. Also, you need a bit more space to be able to go all the way to the ceiling and back down. Dralii closing the distance between himself and Mawkzy, costs him a lot of boost, and then ultimately gets beat out as Mawkzy goes over the top of him. Dralii power slide cuts. Mawkzy able to block it. He is seeing challenge after challenge and being patient, going low 50, trying to create his advantage opportunity. He's going to give Dralii a little boop on the nose as Dralii attempts to escape the air dribble bump. Not easy to do against the guy who hit 50,000 of them on land against Yan. And now has himself a lead. Kickoff advantage to Mawkzy. This is the big thing, I think, for the series we just watched. Felt like Nwpo so frequently setting himself up to have to play defense early. Has not been that way here for Mawkzy as he gets a reset at ceiling height. You can see Dralii thinking about the ceiling challenge for a second. Decides against it and has a tough time counteracting that downward momentum as he transitions to the ground. He's never really in the stratosphere of that Mawkzy shot. With a minute left to go, he's got himself a strong possession. Mawkzy pre-jumps and takes it away. Mawkzy, it's so funny how, I saw on occasion Nwpo with possession playing a little bit more like Mawkzy, playing a little bit safer. Sometimes he's just flying around the map, seems to be changing that slightly. And then we see some Nwpo tendencies showing up in Mawkzy, some super early pre-jumps and some really fast movement here and there to mix up what we're used to seeing from him. Maybe, just maybe, a little bit of respect in each other's games and seeing how they do so well. Dralii gonna get a demo, and if he could find a way to convert this, which will not be easy, then maybe there's still a chance here in this game. He does have boost advantage as he heads up to the ceiling, trying to get the reset instead, forced to 50. All that happened just a bit too late, so Mawkzy will take game number 1. Dralii drops to GG, but I'm gonna let it tick out because it's simpler than pulling up the menu. Game number 1 to the Mawk in this best of 5. Game number 2. Mawkzy and Dralii. Mawkzy passing off the sidewall to himself after a kickoff win. Wants to convert on that advantage. Fakes out Dralii, and Dralii drops some nice shots. This will be a 1-0 lead for the Mawk. Mawkzy normally the kind of guy to grind at all times. People have talked a lot about how taking a big break can often result in coming back stronger than before. I wonder if Mawkzy feels that way at all about his gameplay, or if he feels he's still rusty. If there's anyone who overdoes it, it's me when I say kinda guy. What's the deal with that? Why'd you have to tell me? But if there's anyone who overdoes it, it's Mawkzy. But he took a very rare break. Now it's all I can think about. Dralii, nice shot off the back wall. Now I just feel like every sentence has to include it. It's in my head. It's deeper in there. It's getting worse and worse instead of better. Heavy delay from Mawkzy. Look at the late flip from Dralii in order to get the perfect touch. And now the early challenge. Trying to get a catch. He does. Not just trying to. That net is wide open because of it. And he will equalize. The Ionis Camel, thank you for the 5 months prime. Been on tour and haven't tuned in the stream for a while? You missed Feer noises. Great to have you back. Mawkzy popping this ball up in hopes of creating an advantage near Dralii's nets. Not sure he got it. He just chased Dralii down to force him to be unable to get an angle on the ball. And that does result in him having possession. Very forward touch here on this air dribble starts. What a reset. Mawkzy went all in. This is not the kind of air dribble we see from Mawkzy. I don't know if this is him experimenting a little bit here as Dralii goes for a double. Actually not able to hit it. Super rare miss. I feel like if that back wall does not get cleared, it's always in with these guys. Maybe Dralii was just expecting it to and kind of put half effort into reading his double. Mawkzy demoed as Dralii recovers to the boost. And he's going to take a moment here to guarantee he gets another 100. Mawkzy thought about the early challenge, but then dashed his way all the way back, and he's going to get bumped, or maybe not. Might have gotten around it, but the effect is the same as Dralii gets his third goal. Mawkzy, big kickoff win. This is the one he loves to do, going to the ceiling. He can afford to do that when you win a big kickoff. Nice save by Dralii. Because you know you have that set amount of time where the defender has to recover to the 100. They won't be challenging you early. Heavy touch from Mawkzy. Has to be a mistake. I wasn't watching his POV, but why would he want the ball here? As he is now handed it over to Dralii, who doesn't know how to control it. He's on the wrong side of it. Dralii undercutting this one. Camera check to see what Mawkzy's up to. Tapping towards the net. Oh my goodness, Mawkzy with one of the most impressive own goal saves ever. He just drops a question mark. This was quite the save and to own goal. Dralii says 1. Oh no, the last thing chat needs is any reason to type 1. Mawkzy, another kickoff win to the side wall. He's gotten a ton of those. Will he be able to convert this time? Low 50. Mawkzy manages to pinch it away. Deciding to challenge here and not let Dralii land clean. Still a very fair. Dralii, that first touch is a thing of beauty. How he's able to, at full supersonic, rush back into the ball and get the perfect first touch to set up his dribble. It's just ridiculous. Dralii eventually getting his goal, though. Even despite me highly complimenting the first touch, he did not convert that one for a goal. He was forced back into defense before he got it. (5-2) here for Dralii. Minute 9 left to go. Mawkzy magic happens often around this time. Does it still happen against an opponent the caliber of Dralii, though, is the question. He wants a demo here. He gets it. Kept ball cam on the whole way. Lined it up. Dralii's going to run out of boost. Has to fall to the ground eventually. And there's really no way to escape this after using your flip. Will the Mawkzy magic continue? Kickoff not in his favor. Should be able to pre-flip to make the save. Actually didn't. But he got Dralii to go all the way to the back wall. An impressive bit of dashing to even stand a chance there on that save. But Dralii does put in a third and is getting very close to securing this game number 2, if not already. Mawkzy needs first possession every time. Dralii knows lobbing the ball up and just getting challenge after challenge is all he needs to do. Every one of those challenges was never going to score, and it was never even going to get possession. They were all just going to waste a little bit more time. But wasting a little bit more time in this case is winning. And now Dralii is going to flip ahead of him, and he says, "Stop. You GG." What? I'm going to let Dralii clip. I'm sorry. I'm not going to stop GG. I'm going to let him hit one more, and I'm going to even watch it again, and then I'll stop it. Sheesh. All right, GG. Game number 3. Mawkzy with another first possession. Dralii reversing in net, and it's going to pay off. Actually, he gets an undercut. Solid undercut by Mawkzy. Otherwise, that was going to be an easy goal for Dralii, who is channeling his inner Diaz as he goes to take this ball away and send it to his own back wall. But he is not going to rise to the ceiling like we see from Mr. Diaz. Instead, he's going to look to play some ground game. Mawkzy is trying to hit some zap dashes. So whenever that streak gets too high, dude, the king of the marbles insisted on everyone typing nails, and I'm like, oh no, some innocent little chatter is about to be timed out for an entire day. And that is exactly what happened. Dralii. Just barely able to clip this one around as it heads to his back wall. Still no goals here in game number 3. Dralii recovers to stop this dish and does well to cut this ball away from a Mawkzy power shot. Heavy touch from Dralii. Means the hook shot wasn't really available. Still trying to low 50 it in. No one can get a clear advantage here. Even with, one player having possession, it doesn't seem obvious that they're able to get anything going. And right here, I felt like Mawkzy was maybe going to have to give up something because he's on 0 boost, just wall dashing, following the ball all the way into the opposite side. Not often something you get away with, and yet he did get away with that. He was able to chip it to the other side and grab the 100. Nobody can get an advantage right here for the first 2 minutes. Dralii in the air, low boost. Mawkzy with a big boost advantage means he's probably still in a good spot. He's specifically going to try and get a cheeky save on the goal line, save as much boost as possible. He has managed to save a good amount, but even Dralii might be able to pre-flip and make this save. This is one of the best played 0-0 games you'll ever see. And Dralii trying to end it right now. Sidewall dribble. Mawkzy from the ceiling. Can he get the save? Dralii's double is in. 1 goal in the first half of the game. And a nice one at that. And Mawkzy was close to taking this one away. There's Sparks! I would feel scammed. On my screen, he got Sparks on that touch to try and dispossess Dralii. But it will be a Dralii goal. And now watch. Kickoff goal, kickoff goal, kickoff goal, kickoff goal. Game ends 7-6. After fighting so hard for that first goal. Uh-oh. Oh, wait, Mawkzy's back! No, not enough. Okay, he did just make a big mistake. I want to see what happened. Oh, I don't know. I'm not sure. Dralii is touching the ball, moving it from that spot it used to be in a couple seconds ago, but surely Mawkzy knows that. Mawkzy, what a flick. Ooh, just pixels away from getting the bounce he needed. Dralii wants a big clear. Didn't quite get it. Gonna have to recover on 0. Forced into net. Mawkzy feels like he has to convert. This first touch isn't great. Mawkzy low 50'd. And now pinching this one to the opposite side. Booming power shots. Will he get his first goal? Not yet, at least. As Dralii keeps it 2-0. There, Mawkzy finally able to get a power shot. That'll put him on the board. Mawkzy flick as Dralii sends it into the corner. Gets deleted. Mawkzy, can he convert on this? Dralii respawn. He had good respawns against Nwpo. Not a bad respawn here as he's able to make the first save. And I think in Mawkzy's head, that was a banger shot top shelf. I think that's the only way to describe why he would go for this. And then instead, it was a rolling ball to Dralii. But if it went the way it was going in his mind, it wasn't a bad idea. Kickoff win. Whoops! Ooh, the pre-quick shot from Dralii. Trying to throw Mawkzy off. Then gives himself a quick what a save. Oh, he whoops. Oh, I didn't even see that. That was a clear whoops. Did not pick up the back corner boost. Just did a nice little twist around it. Converting on a kickoff goal, though, right away. Put himself back up 4-2. Mawkzy taking this one straight down the center of the field. This is not what you normally see from Mawkzy. He's going for a supersonic dribble, which is just such a rarity from him. Again, it's something that you maybe see Nwpo do, and he always finds a way to make it make sense. Normally, you do not want to go supersonic on a dribble. You want to be able to be a little bit more in control of the ball. You know, oftentimes that results in being able to go slower, faster, whatever you need to make the right play. At supersonic, you can no longer go faster, so it basically results in you just chasing the ball down usually. And this is going to be a Dralii win. There's the stop. It's called GG or forfeit, not stop. But I do like just saying stop. Game number 3 for Dralii. Up 6-2. Stop the bleeding. Send me to the next game. Game number 4. Mawkzy and Dralii. Dralii not going to the kickoff. Mawkzy sees that right away and will collect the ball into his back corner. And got a clear advantage out of it, I would say. Win for him on the kickoff, as he now goes for an air dribble into a wave dash shot. And resets again in the midfield. Hooking like he could go left, ultimately trying to fake to be able to 50, and that's exactly what happens. Keeps Dralii pinned, because at any moment he could go for this hook shot that he's threatening here and shoot on that near post. And then eventually goes for that 50. And it's too late for Dralii to recover and make the good play. Uncle Mumbles! Thank you for the 15 million viewer raid. Much appreciated. New Raiders, type stop type. It's literally the only thing you're allowed to type right now. Dralii off the back wall. Going the full distance of the field. Reset. Oh, he snuck it behind him. Mawkzy was waiting and presumably had this near post covered for him, but nope, there is a little bit of a window to actually shoot into. And Dralii gets it there. Mawkzy faked the hook shot once. Oh, that one I don't think was meant to be a fake, because it just gives the ball over to Dralii. Dralii will score the other way. New Raider comes in, says, can I get timed out for no reason at all? Yeah, my mods have no trouble doing that. You will get yourself timed out. Jack, thank you for the 340 million viewer raid. Appreciate you, as Dralii throws a flick and makes it 3-1. He's trying to close out the series here against Mawkzy. It would be a mirrored matchup for all the new Raiders who have been showing up. We've got a Nwpo versus Mawkzy challenge going on, where they're not actually playing each other. We're going to save that for the World Championships. They're going to be playing against the same 10 opponents, trying to get a better record. Winner gets the prize. And so Dralii, if he was able to match his 3-1 against Nwpo, would be basically a net neutral for both these guys. And they would continue on trying to gain an advantage against the different opponents. And Dralii, I think, is one of the rare players who will be able to win against both. Clearly, he's shown that and is arguably on track for it. I think Dralii is one of the S tier 1v winners right now. I know some people might look at what's happening and think, oh, Mawkzy and Nwpo aren't necessarily in form. Sleazebreeze, save the gifted sub. But what you got to remember is that, you know, the EU 1v1 was decided by not only game 7, but basically like a single goal. I think it ended up being 1 or 2 maybe when it was all said and done, but came down to one huge kickoff, I would say. And Dralii did not get the win. Dralii, full field dribble. Maybe thought about ending it with a pogo. So I think Dralii was always, you know, in the league of these guys. Coming away with a couple wins today is not indicative of, you know, them not playing to their level. I think Dralii was just always that good. Nice flick. Dralii has another good win recently. He played against Diaz when they were both in NA for the major. I think that was a best of 7. That one went 7, I believe, but in favor of Dralii. So Dralii has a lot of good 1v1, you know, recent matches. Do not doubt him. But you have to give Mawkzy the credit because he did win when the, you know, it mattered most in that game 7. He'll be the one competing at Worlds. Sant11, thank you for the Prime. Why is Dralii in Alpha Cap's club? Just to be clear, Dralii's in my club. I'm in LSB. Therefore, it's my club. Type 1 in chat, that's true. Mawkzy gonna get a 4th. He needs to not let this snowball out of hand. Surely these remarks will not get me removed from the club. Dralii's kickoff has been equal, if not better, in the past moments. I mean, we saw it against Nwpo. Big difference in his win. Now he's showing how he can extend leads off the back of a few kickoffs in a row. Mawkzy overshooting his flick. He's specifically slowing down because he wanted to catch Dralii and throw him off. But ultimately not able to. Will steal his boost now. Has a ton of time to bring back these 3 goals. Dralii sending this one away. Mawkzy now. Power shot, hoping to catch out a Dralii who is maybe going to close some of that distance to Shadow. Dralii stays there. And is able to tap it over the top of Mawkzy. Make it 8-4 with a minute 36 left to go. Mawkzy, you could see, doing a little bit of controller dropping in that moment. Dralii picks up 100 and is on track to closing out this series the same way. Air dribble resets. Mawkzy forces it into the corner. Ooh, Dralii able to reverse, make the save. Follow-up save as well. These saves are all but securing it. Pogo! He's doing it for the fans out here. Pogoing in defense for, you know, a slight reason. I wouldn't say no reason. It did potentially result in him staying, you know, higher up and being able to get a better 50. Mawkzy will force it in eventually. P12C4, they've been 22 months of Tier 1. Mawkzy, low 50, rolls it in. Not out of this one. 42 seconds. He will need kickoff advantages. Wave dash kickoff bump. Actually, he's able to launch it away. Uses his flip to send Dralii all the way to the other side of the field. Dralii did his best to recover. I think he was trying to go for a bump here after making his way back. He wave dash landing, picked up the 100, and boosted his way. Just couldn't quite get there. Delayed kickoff from Dralii. He's had enough of going to the kickoff and losing it. Mawkzy could be a big win here. A win even in this game and then losing in the series is a slight edge over what Nwpo did against Dralii. Mawkzy not able to go for the psycho. Dralii with control of possession. Both players have boost with 20 seconds left to go. Dralii does not have to go anywhere with this ball if he doesn't want to. I imagine he's going to save a good bit of boost on this landing. Mawkzy might have a power shot, but he decides not to go for it. Ooh, picks up the midfield 100. Now has an advantage. It's going to have to be through the air because there is no time left on the clock. Mawkzy has the dribble going. Dralii pre-jumps it. Mawkzy can still get underneath this. Flick it up. Wait, that net is looking a little bit available. Dralii taps it away, and it does hit ground. Dralii secures it. It's GG's. It's 3-1 against both of the World Championship competitors, and it's $200 into Dralii's pocket. A net neutral for Dralii versus Mawkzy. He goes 3-1 against both of them. No ground made up at all in this matchup. Dralii just proves to be a little bit too good.